I'm Angela Grillo. I'm a director. I create and develop new work. I'm originally from Saginaw, Michigan. I come from a big family. My passion for theater started when I was young. Was very lucky. I studied at a prominent private art school, Center for the Arts and Sciences. I went on to study acting at California Institute of the Arts. And I also studied abroad for a semester at the Royal Scottish Academy for music and drama. My last year of college, I directed Eve Ensler's The Vagina Monologues. It gave me a sense of my professional directing ability. Being able to see and work with an actor and knowing what questions to ask them to get them to a deeper emotional place or to further their action of the play, having this understanding of that, and also the needs of an actor, for someone to see them and know what it is that makes them tick and how to get it from them. I know that for myself as an actor and how great it is to have a director that kind of gets your work. I studied Meisner with Rob Mello. He demanded me to explore and express my truth in life as well, not just on stage. So out of that class, I decided to produce Problem Child, a play by Canadian playwright George F. Walker. At that time, it was fantastic to work on pieces that mattered more. So this is a time in my life when it started to change. Like, oh yeah, I want to do something that's more fulfilling and enriching.
What a marvelous age we live in.
So Flap is a postmodern vaudeville show that I was asked to direct and co-produce with Leah Votro and Jason Gordon. This was something that has never been done in LA at this point. We were the first ones to do it. We performed in an old historic building in downtown Los Angeles. I worked with live musicians, singers in the industry, burlesque dancers from San Francisco. And then also at the end, it slowly unfolded into a big dance party with multiple DJs. I produced Keith Bunan's The Prideaux Canvas. I played Amelia. This piece was really beautiful. We decided on the set being a framed canvas itself. So the audience looked through the frame to the characters as we were looking out into empty frames that hung as art in the play. There were no props, no costume changes, very intricate lighting, and a lot of vulnerability. This piece was also very prevalent. We were all asking the same questions in our life at that time. Like, was it important to go against the grain, to express ourselves, and will our work as artists even be remembered? I think it made people sit back and think about what they were doing in their own lives. Because Amelia, the character, she then decides, after this big blow up happens in the play, she then decides that she's not going to be an artist anymore and goes and has a bunch of kids and gets married. And there's a piece of her that is left sort of dead inside. And the other artist in the play continues his work, and nobody even knows his work later years on in the play. I think it was more people like saw this like beauty of a time of people's lives that were so compelling, and that these kids loved their lives and what they did, and then they made these choices that took them down another path. I feel I built a strong foundation as a producer to move into directing. I met Evelyn Stetton, my collaborator on Box Window Door. Meeting her was a blessing in my life. We had an immediate and deep connection. So we decided to forge ahead working on this new piece called Box Window Door, a play on dreams. The play is about feminine consciousness explored through the dreams of protagonist Margaret. And we experience Margaret's unlived life through the unraveling of her integration of a dismembered live installation of Coffin Girl. Box Window Door is about women finding their power and letting go of old belief systems to help find their inner truth and authentic self. Was trying to direct and tell a story based off of our patriarchal society that we live in, and myself as a director learning how not to use power over but relating to another human being We also used our dreams and the dream work to help guide the piece and the direction of the piece, as well as flesh out characters, figure out what the structure of the play was, the scenes. It helped give imagery for lighting and movement. Our dreams also informed us how we were to work together as a collaborative team. It was difficult. She's writing this very personal piece of her life growing up as the daughter of a Holocaust survivor. And she's dealing with her own dreams and this image of this girl in a coffin. So her as the writer and producer on it, and then me as a director, guiding her to realize that she's creating a character. And that was one of the hardest things of working with her on the piece, is getting her to that point that like this is a character that's in all of us. It's not just her story. I feel Margaret, the protagonist, is a piece of me, a piece of the actors that were in it, a piece of anyone who comes to see the show. The first phase was a workshop in order to discover and develop the characters fully. We worked with women for a few weeks doing dream work collaboratively to see what was coming up for the collective unconscious through the dream work, to then inform more of the direction of who these characters are, what do they want to say, what's their scene together. We held a performance with a Q&A afterwards, received feedback, and then took all of that and went back to the drawing board and rewrote, reworked, and had at that point more of the story that we wanted to tell.
See, your father will be home. Daddy will be here any minute. If I don't hurry, the table won't be set.
It was a full staged musical with 12 women. We were not only doing dream work, but working in this non-traditional space. We created lights that the chorus of women in the play had to hang during the show and then run them the entirety of the show. They played dual roles as this like dream film crew. So they kind of were in charge, and it had to be very specifically choreographed in order to work.
Rising from the gas chambers, star-mangled breathing corpses, barely able to move her hand. The brow of the iron nudges the wrinkles, starching horror into the lining. Father reads his paper in front of the television. Double-line study. Women, work, weeping. Is there no peace? Upstairs, the little girls sleep. They throw off their covers, moaning as bad men give chase. They can't fly high enough. They can't run fast enough. They can't dig deep enough to get away from their mother's nightmares or their father's last rays. Matt! Yeah?
Who ordered up the Holocaust cable? Last night, we decided Trojan Wars cable 1 for the dream night.
Yeah, well, there's been some changes, boss.
Changes. What are you talking about?
I know you said the Trojan War has, and I quote, a lot of good fight scenes over one dumb broad.
Damn right, too.
But Sylvia says we need the Dreamer's personal history on this one. She says the Trojan War is way too far back for the right atmosphere in the kitchen, so I brought in the Holocaust on cable too, okay?
We've workshopped again with fewer actors. We broke it down and we just worked on Box, the first act. And we put this up at the Hollywood Fringe Festival. That year we won a Hollywood Fringe Award, as well as were offered to extend the play. Being able to come back and still use the same substance and create it again in a different way, it felt great. And it was received very well. I believe that the story is universal, and there are parts of us that are unconscious that need to be unburied. It's the life inside of us that we're not living up to. Through art and performance, I want to uncover the creative soul the inner, most authentic self inside each of us.
She has not left her house in 2 years since her mother's death, yeah? She claims her sister living in a coffin, yeah? She gets voices, yeah? She cannot tell the difference between what is dream and what is reality, yeah? She tried to kill herself, yeah? But then finish her off! Murder. Now that is a good subject for a film.
Don't say anything about the dress. Oh, pretty dress.
You see, your sister likes it. You see how you behave? You know how much it cost?
Whole and plucked, neatly lined up on a flat metal cart in the middle of the pantry. A pantry the size of a house!
Whoa! That is power. An avalanche. Ah! That is power. Murder. That's power.
Sit, 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 sit. Down to the river, the rising river, the red raging river, going down.
This is not a good film. This is not even a good dream.
He can't tell us how bad it looks.
A year later, we developed Window, Act 2. This time, our dreams were telling us to build a live sculpture installation that we called Coffin Girl. She was also a character in this act. The three of us built a plaster of a mold of our body parts, yet adding another element that I had never worked with before. A Window was seen at the Hollywood Fringe Festival, as well as we took this on the road to the International Association of Dreams conference, which was held up in Berkeley. So as a director, having to rework a piece, knowing that you have to travel with it and be able to put it up in any space that's available to you, that was that challenge.
When I stand up, my left leg is full of shards of red glass, all sizes. Big and little.
It was very well received. Now, working with dreams, it's all feeling based in your body. Everybody dreams. So it's like what you experience when you, upon waking up, it's not a head thing. It's like, oh, I felt that. I'm feeling something. I like to, through the movement, I like to express the feelings that you're actually having. We finally figured out what story needed to be told, which took us 5 years to do it. But I think it's important, if it takes that long, that you're telling the right story, and you're doing it with integrity and heart and passion. It's not mapped out for you, and you just have to like keep going and see what's next. Now that I've worked in this collaborative way using psychology, mythology, dreams, movement, video projections, dance, song, spoken word, I cannot imagine working with any less, or not working in a collaborative project. I mean, it's not only fun, but you're working with other people's ideas, which I think that's what makes me a good director, is that I can see in another person these ideas that they have and say, yeah, let's make this happen. I want to direct because there's no other outlet for the expression of my work. Directing, I feel that I have what it takes, and also the vision. When I get on board with something that I want to do, how I want to tell it, the visions then just come, and I see it in a certain way. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy my work.